Welcome to Coffee with ClearScript, the podcast where we break down the latest in pharmacy benefit management. I'm your host, Lynn Branch, Client Commitment Director at ClearScript, and today I'm joined by Reese Puckett, ClearScript's Vice President of PBM Operations. Reese is here to help us unpack the basics of pharmacy pricing benchmarks and the importance to payers. Welcome, Reese.
Thanks for having me, Lynn. Excited to dive in.
Great. Many aren't aware that more than 90% of what an employer group or other payer spends on pharmacy benefits goes directly toward the cost of prescription drugs for their members. Though the price the payer ultimately pays for the drug is one of the most critical factors in impacting plan spend. Unfortunately, it can be confusing and misunderstood. Reese, let's start with the basics of how drug pricing works. Can you help us out?
Yeah, sounds good. So the pharmacy supply chain involves several players, and while it might look simple at the pharmacy counter when our members are out picking up a prescription, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. It starts with the drug manufacturers. They develop these drugs, of course, and price the medications, and then the manufacturers sell to these wholesalers, and then wholesalers to pharmacies. Behind the scenes from there, the pharmacy benefit managers like ClearScript, we negotiate drug pricing with the pharmacies on behalf of the payer so that they get the best price. So this is how it plays out in summary. A patient fills a prescription, pays their share of the cost at the pharmacy. That is the copay or coinsurance determined by the health plan or employer. The pharmacy provides that patient the drug and submits the claim to the PBM through the claims processing system. And then the PBM pays the pharmacy for that negotiated price. From there, the PBM in turn submits that bill to the health plan or payer, who then pays for those drug costs, and the PBM subsequently back to that pharmacy.
It sounds like there really is a lot going on there. It sounds like the drug price that the PBM negotiates with the pharmacy is key to what both the patient and the payer pay.
Yes, that's absolutely right. I think of it like buying a car. There's a sticker price, there's a dealer cost, the rebates, and a final sale price, and they're rarely the same. Pharmacy price works similarly. Pharmacies buy drugs from wholesalers, PBMs negotiate the reimbursement rates, and manufacturers offer rebates. All of these moving parts affect that final cost.
It seems important that payers understand how these moving parts work to make sure the price that they're paying is fair and transparent.
Yeah, that's right, Lynn. It's critical. So let's break it down a little bit using that buying a car as an example. In the pharmacy world, the sticker price, also you think of that like a MSRP. In the pharmacy world, again, that's called an AWP or average wholesale price. This price, like an MSRP, is artificially inflated. It, however, is the standard by which most PBMs and pharmacy contracts are negotiated. So because it's inflated, negotiations are a markdown. So for example, the PBM will pay the dispensing pharmacy like 20% off of AWP for brand drugs.
So does the markdown from the AWP result in the final price the employer pays?
I wish it was that simple. It's not exactly, because there's still a patient pay amount in there, there's rebates, and then there's other processing fees that go into this equation.
Interesting. If I'm following, the payer understands what discount they are paying off of an artificially high retail price, but has little visibility into how much they're paying over what the drug actually costs to the pharmacy.
Yes, that's exactly right. And that is the reason why there's new negotiation models like cost plus pricing that are gaining more attention in the market.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What is cost plus pricing, and why is it getting so much attention?
Sure. So the cost plus pricing, the PBM, again, like ClearScript, bills the client the cost of the drugs plus a fixed markup or admin fee. The cost could be based on more of a benchmark price such as NADAC or PAC. And not to confuse our audience, but those are pricing benchmarks that most closely represent what the dispensing pharmacy paid for those drugs. For example, if a drug's NADAC is 100, the PBM might charge 100 plus a 10% markup equaling $110. So you can see the difference between an AWP model where it's marked down versus a markup off of a reliable or fairly reliable acquisition cost.
And why are employers and plan sponsors so interested in this model?
Well, for a couple of reasons. It's easier to understand. You're getting a better feel for what that pharmacy price is and how much markup there is, and it's also a transparency factor. So making it easier for the employer or the payer to understand also allows that payer to make better decisions in managing the benefit.
Is there any catch?
There can be. While that transparency is great, it depends on the contract. A well-detailed AWP minus model can be just as transparent. If you're working with a transparent PBM like ClearScript, so we would give you the information about that markup, so you would see exactly what you're paying these pharmacies, and that's not always the case with other PBMs that don't value transparency.
Yeah, so what about ClearScript? Do you offer a cost plus model?
We do. It's called Specialty Clear Cost. We use PAC as our benchmark because it's built on actual acquisition costs. Then we add a fixed transparent markup, no hidden fees, no spread pricing.
And does that mean lower costs with the cost plus model compared to the AWP minus model?
Not always. Again, as I noted, one's a mark, AWP is a mark down. Acquisition-based cost pricing is a markup. You often might arrive at that same price, but again, it's easier to understand and drive simplicity for our clients to understand.
We hear a lot about Mark Cuban's cost plus in the market these days. What about Mark Cuban's cost plus program?
Yeah, Mark Cuban's program is actually different. It's a direct to consumer approach focused on low cost generics. So they contract directly with manufacturers, or they're the manufacturer themselves and add a markup, as well as a pharmacy fee and shipping. So it's important to understand the difference. Unlike PBMs, Cuban's program sells drugs directly to consumers like a retailer. They are marking up drugs based on manufacturing cost versus pharmacy marking up from a wholesaler. It's really not the same type of situation. It's apples and oranges.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. It's very helpful to distinguish between those two models. Well, let's wrap up. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't think this is going to be a trend. I think there is a lot of value towards shifting towards these cost plus models. It is more straightforward. It drives accountability in the market. I'm happy to say ClearScript's cost plus model delivers that on that transparency promise. Whether you're already a client or exploring new options, we're here to help navigate with honesty and integrity.
Well, thank you. That PBM pricing is certainly complex, and I know we've only scratched the surface today. We'd love to have you back on to go deeper on that topic, but we'll leave it here for today. Reese, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit us at clearscript.org or call 612-672-6500 to reach our sales team.
Thank you for joining us on Coffee with ClearScript. We hope you found today's episode insightful and valuable. Share it with anyone who might benefit from a clearer understanding of pricing practices and pharmacy benefits. And until next time, stay informed and take care.